kazi funa umqeqeshe kureko siphendula ngemali esifunayo kuphela sikwazi ukuvula emsebenzini kodwa engekasiphendula imali esifunayo asizisuka apha singazisuswa ngabo lamaphoyisa lapha.
Why the use of police force armed to the teeth against miners who were not occupying mining property or territory, were not occupying any strategic point, were not blocking the national highway or any minor road.
Hierdie dokumentêr, Miners Shut Down, het reeds 21 pryse ingepalm. Die afgelope week in New York is dit ook met 'n Emmy vir die beste dokumentêre rolprent vereer. Maar ondanks al die lof, is dit nog nie in Suid-Afrika in die massas beskikbaar nie. Die regisseur, Rehad Desai, hoop egter dat die Emmy 'n verskil sal maak.
It really means it's going to make it much more difficult for our broadcasters to ignore, to continue to not show the film. So I'm just hoping we got tens of millions of South Africans who have access to nothing but the free-to-air broadcasters, SABC and ETV, and they are the primary audience for this film. It was made for them. So that's been the very disappointing thing. Despite all these continued critical acclaim, we haven't managed to get the free-to-air broadcasters to do what they know they should be doing.
Hy voel so sterk oor die saak dat hy bereid is om dit gratis aan die SAUK en aan ETV te gee.
I'm really tempted now. I know they all complain about poverty, but I'm very happy to give this film to SABC and ETV free of charge. Let's put this aside. Let's not make it about money. If they would like to give me some, I'm not going to say no. But it's theirs. It's theirs for the taking.
Die DA het intussen gesê die openbare uitsaaier behoort dit te vertoon en voorgenem om die saak in die parlement te opper.
Well, if you remember, the objective of having an SABC as a public broadcaster is to give access to information to the South African public. And SABC, being the biggest broadcaster, is denying South African access to this particular information.
You cannot make the SABC a state broadcaster. It's not a state broadcaster. Neither is it an ANC broadcaster. It's a public broadcaster. Is this matter in public interest? It must be broadcast. They are learning old tricks from the apartheid government, and I think that's a dangerous precedent. Can you imagine how absurd that sounds? Here's a documentary that is winning international awards, but the South African public is not entitled to see it.
Maar die SAUK sê hulle het nooit geweier om die dokumentêre rolprent uit te saai nie.
The SABC has never refused to air it. The documentary was submitted in 2014. And I think, if my memory serves me well, we responded to Mr. Desai on the 24th of May, 2014. And at that point, we said to him that we, because of the fact that the commission was still on, we are not going to be able to consider it then. And secondly, we don't have slots available up until late 2015. We don't even know whether the version that they submitted for the award is still the same version that they submitted to us.
If I told you that when I spoke to him earlier today, he said that it's not about the money and he is willing to give it to the SABC.
If this is what he's saying, then he must come and talk to us about it, because it doesn't help anyone for us to speak through the media.
Die ANC het intussen Desai en sy span geloof. Die bewoording het egter wye kritiek op sosiale media ontlok. Tog sê Desai,
maybe, some people call characters cast, let's give them some due here or some slack here in this regard. The key thing now is if they're really genuine about their words, rather than attempting to deflect the issue and say, oh, okay, great, let's all make these good stories about our trials and tribulation, warts and all, and what a great contribution this is to our economy and so on. If they are serious about the massacre and about having a national conversation about this, they should follow the other political parties in Parliament, which are now calling for this film to be aired. Let's see if they're willing to go that far.